Shh. That's for country. Hello. Camouflage man. Camouflage man. He's the camouflage man. Yeah. Okay. Alright, we saw episode 1 of season 2, and you know, or you recognize where I am. Right now I'm at Dragonfly Falls. As you see, there's plenty of water. Okay. You may also notice that today I'm not wearing my upper armor. You can see it, I'm actually in the dark. Hold on. Okay. As you can see, I'm actually not wearing my upper armor today because today I'm going to wash this thing. It's gotten kind of stinky. Okay, introducing Adventures in Apocalyptic Laundry, or as you might say, old school laundry. You'll see. Now laugh if you will, the technique I'm about to demonstrate is actually pretty simple and it goes back many ages. It's what they used to do before the invention of laundry machines. And if you find yourself in an apocalyptic situation that limits your use of a washing machine, for instance, if there's no electricity, then you're gonna have to do it by hand, like this. Pine needle tea, always refreshing. I should mention this particular pine needle tea is actually from 2 different trees, so you got a combination of flavors. One is stronger than the other. It's a nice blend. And also recently I've started adding pine cones. When I boil the water and pour it on the pine needles, I add a pine cone on top to hold them down, and also it adds a nice sweet nutty flavor. They're also known as pine nuts. Hold on, let me take my helmet off. That's better. Okay, moving on. Okay, now before I proceed down that dark tunnel over there, I'm going to show you how to make a simple yet effective torch. You want a good sized stick, about the length of your arm. Okay, it doesn't have to be too wide. Just nice and sturdy. I stripped all the bark of mine. I'm going to dip the handle part in water to keep it wet. But anyways, you could tear up the sleeve of your shirt or the bottom of your shirt and wrap it around. That's a classic old school torch. But nowadays, you may have noticed people just discard their face masks anywhere, so you can find a number of these. So I would say use 4 or 5 of them. Just take it like this, kind of twist it a few times, and take it on the tip of your stick, wrap it around. Okay, and then guess what? It's got a spring right there, and you can use to tie it right on. Just wrap it around a couple times. There you go. Take another one, do the same thing. Okay. Easy peasy. Do this a few more times. Got a couple more. Wrap it around. 5 or 6 of these should be good enough to do it. And you take the string and twist it around the end of the stick, and it secures it. It's like a giant Q-tip. And then I'm going to use a cloth face mask right here. Doesn't matter if it's got color on it. It might be going to burn you up anyways. So put it on the end of the stick like that. Or you can hold it in place and twist the stick. See? I did a twist the stick method. Easy peasy. Okay? Well, this one's trying to put up a fight. Come on now. Anyways, you wrap it around like that. And take your handy dandy Vaseline. You just kind of dab and smudge it all up on there like that. Give it a good coat. I'm going to use a stick to rub it on there. Hold on. Okay, so just take a good sized stick, glob out a nice chunk of what looks like earwax on the end of your Q-tip, okay? Oh, that's a lot of earwax, dude. Anyways, this is your flame extender. You don't have to use quite that much, but for a good demonstration purpose, I'm going to make sure it's evenly coated. Alright, this should make a good torch. If I did it right, it should last for 40 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on how windy it is. Alright, there you go, thoroughly coated. Now, I can't tell you how long it took me to go through all my pockets to pull everything out before I washed the thing. But in the process of doing that, I found this. The most emergency of emergency fire preparation kits. As you can see, it's got a lock and key, so if you misplace your key, well, you might as well lose the whole thing. But anyways, I can remember how to open it. Oh yeah, you twist it. It's pretty easy. Right there, inside here, you got your cotton balls. We don't need that because this is a giant cotton ball now. But you got your striker stick right here and more Vaseline, of course, in there. But we've already got plenty on this. Won't need that. Just put this back on there. Okay. Alright, so this is just your basic striker kit right here. So you go like that and the sparks come off. So, here we go. Ready? It's not catching fire, is it? That's unexpected. Wow, it's an example of what not to do. Come on now. Well, I'm not sure. Just keep striking at it, I guess, until it... Okay, looks like it's catching fire now. Wow. It is windy down here. Got a nice wind tunnel, so maybe that has something to do with it. Putting out the fires is starting. So I better not waste any time here. Putting this back in the 10 minutes while it's like, hey, man. Man, this just doesn't want to burn. Maybe they're actually flame retardant. Oh, look at it. This thing really stinks too. So all I can do is get a little bit of smoke. I guess it's actually flame resistant. Now you know what not to do. Moving on. Come on, you're coming with me. We're getting close to Dragonfly Falls. Oh, look! The Bible is still taped to the wall. It's also full of water. But listen to that water flowing. Nice. Okay, now before I start doing laundry, I'm going to gather up some water. I'm also going to do a little water test on the water to see how good it is. Also, before I get it all wet and heavy, I'm going to go ahead and use some cordage. String across from one side to the other here. I'm going to take it to the wall. And string it across and make a clothesline. Okay, so I just attach it to the back sticky side of the duct tape, like that, make a little loop, so it'll be double strength, and you attach it to the wall like this. You do that. Go. Go. There's one layer of tape. I'll take another layer of tape just to reinforce it that. Sides just to make sure it didn't wash the wall or anything. As you can see, it's dirty, crawling with bugs. It's not really crawling with bugs, it's just dirty. Anyways, moving on to the other side. So you just take your cordage and you bring it across to the other side like this. Okay, as you can see, I have it fairly secure. It should hold right there. And then it goes all the way across. Here's the other side over here. This side was a little bit more dirty, as you see. But hopefully it'll hold. Hopefully the rain will hold up a little bit too, because if it doesn't, there's going to be a waterfall coming out of their drain pipe from the road. Alright, oops. Yeah, that brings me to another point. If this was a little bit lower, this is what is known as a clothesline. Boom! It'll catch you by the throat right here. If you're running through the trees and somebody sets it at about this level, then doing! That can be dangerous. But it could also be used to defend your premises. In apocalyptic circumstances, but I did not tell you that. Okay, this pile of debris right here was not there last time I came down here. I get to crawl on top of it. Wonderful. Okay, once you have your clothesline securely drawn out, usually you would tie it to a branch on a tree or maybe a fence post or something like that. We just happen to be under a bridge right now at our water source, but you want to use some kind of sturdy clips to attach to it like that. And then I'm going to hang the garment once it's washed and wet and let it dry. Okay, if you can see, I have my cordage rope here. This time it's triple braided, not just a single stranded cordage. And also I've tied knots in it every arm length to help me grab a hold of it. So I think I have a nice secure knot. See, I should be able to climb it. Okay. I just use it to pull myself up. So far, so good. Okay, who's ready to do some laundry? This guy. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate a wash and rinse technique. Normally, ideally, you would want to use the smoothest stones possible. Those like chunks of concrete and asphalt down here, so I got a couple of similar sized flat on one side pieces of asphalt that I'm going to use to grind on the fabric. So we're going to rinse these first because they're a bit dirty. There you go, rinse off the dirt like that. Yeah, it's still pretty dirty. Hold on. Get this off. Hold this wet. Alright, so basically, take your garment and you want to fully submerge it in the water. Try not to harm the fish and tadpoles. Usually they'll swim away. Whoa! Try not to fall in the water too. You can see it'll float because it's got all the padding and rubber on it. You don't want it to wash away in the current, otherwise you'll be swimming and chasing after it. But anyways, you fully submerge it. Get it nice and wet. You might go like this a few times. Okay? Alright, so now it's nice and wet. Lay it down on a flat spot. Okay. Now I'll put it a little closer so you can see. Alright, here. Yeah. So then you just take, you work your way down on the sleeve, you just kind of rub it on each side with the stones. It's called stone washing. Okay, so you rub your way down the sleeves like this. Give it a good wash. Both sleeves, okay. Both sides, rub it down. Flip it over. Okay. Flip it over. Scrub like a back massage on the back. Okay. Bottom real good. Both sides. And looks like that. And that's how you do that. Those tadpoles are like, what was that? Alright, so that was the wash cycle. Now let's go rinse this thing. Hold on, I'm going to run over this thing. Now let's take this and hang it up to dry. Alright, looks like all the water filtering equipment, pebbles and stones and gravel and this and that I left out here are now buried under this giant pile of debris. Maybe an avalanche or an earthquake, I don't remember an earthquake, something happened, huh? Since I don't really feel like digging through all that debris if I don't have to, I'm going to do this. should mention this is my first time to actually wash this garment, and it really needed it. I notice, if you can see, here's the quarters right here with the clips. So we hold it up like that. Use the clip, attach it to the shoulders of the garment. Make sure it's securely attached. And see if it'll hold up the weight. Well, I could hold up the weight, but gravity won't. Oops, make it fall in the mud. Great, now I gotta wash it again. Okay, plan B. Okay, I guess it must have needed a second wash and rinse. Well, anyways, there it is, still dripping wet. Got this piece of rebar right here. Let's see if I can hang it off of that. There you go. Let it hang dry like that. And this is in a location where when the sun shines down, it should naturally start to dry, but it's going to take several hours, so be patient. Of course, beating it with a stick would help it to dry a little quicker. Now let's get to gathering and purifying some water. Okay, so I'm going to gather some water from the freshest source, but I'm also going to take a sample in this little bottle right here. And to purify it, to make sure it's sanitized, I'm going to build a water over there. I'm going to build a fire on the water and boil the water. Boil the water. Fire on the water. And it's probably saying, man, you couldn't even get the torch to light. I was going to start a fire on the water. Alright, check it out. Didn't take too long. It's a beautiful day in the apocalypse. A beautiful day in the apocalypse. Laundry. Laundry. Water. Walking on, whoa, jagged rocks, by the way, if you can't tell. See? Anyways, if you see, this water does not look too dirty to begin with. I'll probably drink it right now, but actually I can drink it right now because the water filter that I have attaches right there to the mouthpiece of your average bottle. Okay, it's the squeeze water filtration system. And then you just attach your filter to the mouthpiece right here once you fill it with the water. Alright. This is the actual mini filter right here. It's the Sawyer mini filter. If you see it, it says Sawyer, well, it's backwards. But anyways, you drink through this part right here. You put it on top of the bottle after you fill it. You squeeze it in there, and it will filter the water. It's good for 100,000 uses, 100,000 gallons, that is. Anyways, you just take the bag and you submerge it in the water, or just blow some air in it and hold it under the waterfall like I just did. But anyways, once you got your bag full of water, you just screw it on there, see? Securely, like that. Take the cap off there. Okay, it's got a certain taste to it, but it's edible. You can drink it. It's drinkable, I should say. I would still recommend you boil your water first just to make sure you're removing parasites and stuff like that. But this is said to be effective. You just put it right down in the river or creek, swamp, and drink it up. That didn't look right, but anyways. Okay, if you're wondering what that is right there, I got a piece of concrete and I got some wood sitting on top of that, dry wood, so it should light a fire. Let's do this. water. I'll show you what I just did. Got the rock sitting on the water, the kettle, and I actually used these logs to hold it up, similar to the brick method that you normally see me use. But anyway, there you go. That's how to start a fire on water. Pretty easy. Boiling the water, of course, to make more pine needle tea. And it's going pretty good, see? There's a fire on the water. And water on the fire. And that water should be hot, so I'm going to go ahead and make some more pine needle tea real quick. Okay, now you don't want to pour boiling hot water into your squeeze bottle or into your plastic bottle because it will melt. Okay? And you don't want to use hot boiling water to clean your garment because it'll probably shrink. Now when the water is hot and boiling, it will begin to whistle, go whoo, and steam will come out of it like that. See the steam coming out? So now to remove it from the fire, you want to wear some gloves or use a heat pad. But anyways, the water inside here is very hot. But you can cool it down by setting it in the water. And of course it will cool down more effectively if you completely submerge it in the water. But you don't want the dirty water to get in with the clean water. Okay? And if you let it go, hold on, I'll put the lid back on it. I was going to say if you let it go, it'll probably float. Now, it's full of water, so it'll only float to a certain extent. But anyways, you just put it in the water for a few minutes, and that will cool it down. And it kind of washes it off for you too. Well, not really. Anyways, that concludes today's adventure in doing laundry and boiling water for filtration purposes. This also brings us close to the conclusion of Season 2 of Prepping for the Apocalypse. It's been a pretty wild adventure, hasn't it? This doesn't feel like a season finale. So stay tuned, there should be at least one more after this. Now for the dangerous stunt that some of y'all have been waiting for, that piece of paracord that is tied to that rail up there. Before it starts raining, I'm going to attempt to climb up out of here. So here's the paracord going up to that pole. This is just a basic square knot and a basic triple braid. Braided it myself. And if you can see, I tied it there. It should be secure. There we go. And of course, should I happen to slip and fall, we got all these jagged rocks down here. And no elbow pads because, I'm not sure if you can see it over there, it's still drying. Okay, it's only about 15 feet to get up there, I would say. Almost jump and grab it, but I'm not going to do that. The rope is for. Oh, that's not holding. But the mistake I made is my knots are an arm's width and with your half an arm. That way it's easier to find. Better than last time. But as you can see, it's nice and secure. Whoa. just need to tie your knots better. So you want to put your knots about every half an arm length, not an entire arm length like I do. That way it's easier for you to reach instead of struggling. Whew. All right, that's enough for today. So be careful, stay safe, and God bless you. Hold on, I want to try this one more time. I'll come up there and tie a couple of knots and try this again. That's when I realized that the pole, the railing that I had the rope attached to, if you see, is actually degrading from the concrete. That's why all of this has been falling down here. Dangerously. Here we go. That is the good. That's how you climb back down. Alright, don't give up. But of course that was dangerous, so if you don't necessarily have to try to do that, I wouldn't advise it. Alright, so once you have your knots firmly secure and within reach, it's just a matter of making the climb. And may you make the climb in your life. Spiritually, physically, emotionally, and every other way. Everybody's path is different, so God bless you on your path. And of course, all things are God willing. So season 3 may actually be season World War III. It's prophesied. September War, y'all. I mentioned that in episode 4, I think it was, when I rolled down that pile of bricks. It's a beautiful day in the apocalypse.